What's up, man? I want to talk about masvidal versus Usman, possibly a second fight. I like the first fight. I thought the first fight was a good strategic fight. Both guys tried to implement their game plan. Usman was able to do his better and more effectively. I thought he won every round. I thought Jorge Masvidal had some moments in there to where in the stand-up. One thing about Masvidal, he is a explosive stand-up fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's explosive with his kicks. He's explosive with his hands. He's deceptively quick. He did better than what I thought he was in the takedown defense. Although Usman did get his fair share of takedowns, I thought Masvidal did pretty good for the level of a wrestler and the power and the strength of that Usman possesses. Now, I know Jorge Masvidal came in a 6 day notice. Both of these guys were, in a conundrum. Uh, Masvidal came in a 6 day notice, and Usman was training for Gilbert Burns. Now, Gilbert Burns is a guy that does stand up. We seen that versus Tyron Woodley, and he can take you down to the ground. Plus, Gilbert Burns is a teammate of Usman's. So they train together. They know each other's, a lot of each other's styles. They know what they like to do, what they don't like to do, what they're weak at, where they're strong at. So both of these guys were in a conundrum. I don't. Jorge Masvidal was in shape, y'all, because trust me, for him to battle those takedowns, getting up and all that stuff, that takes a lot of energy, man. Wrestling is the most, next to swimming, wrestling is the most physical draining sport, man. I'm telling you. So he had to be in shape. I don't buy that people say, well, Jorge Masvidal was not in shape. That man was in shape. He may not know, he might not been in probably like the tip top shape he wanted to be in, but he was in shape. Or he wouldn't have went 5 rounds. But the rematch, I still think Usman will win the fight. I just think Usman just have more dynamics to his game. Usman can stand up. I wouldn't advise him to stand up with Jorge Masvidal, for a long length of time like he did versus Kobe Covington. One thing about Kobe Covington, he's strong, but he throws a lot of punches. He's more of like a guy that throws a lot of punches. He's real busy. He does have a lot of head movement. I thought that Usman was able to hit Jorge Masvidal easier than he was hitting Kobe Covington, because Jorge Masvidal, he doesn't give you no head movement. Kobe Covington give you a lot of head movement, a lot of foot movement, a lot of angles. But I think Jorge Masvidal is more dangerous on his feet than Kobe Covington, because, like I said, Jorge Masvidal is explosive with his kicks and his hands. But I still got Usman winning the second fight, because one thing about mixed martial arts, the reason why it's called mixed martial arts, because it's everything. It's your stand-up, it's your ground game, it's your submission, it's everything, your kicks, everything. And I just think Usman has everything, more facets of his game than Jorge Masvidal. I thought that Gilbert Burns guy, and that was my first time ever seeing Gilbert Burns fight when he fought Tyron Woodley. I thought that Gilbert Burns guy had more of a threat to Usman than Jorge Masvidal, for a couple of reasons. One, they're teammates and they have wrestled. I mean, they have been in the gym and sparring with each other. For two, that guy can fight on his feet, and that guy's a really good wrestler too. So that would have been a more of a dangerous fight in my mind for Usman than Jorge Masvidal. Even though Jorge Masvidal is a really good fighter, I like Jorge Masvidal, but it's just styles make fights, man. And I just think Usman will just take Jorge Masvidal down just like he did the first fight, and it'll probably be of a closer fight. Jorge Masvidal probably will win a couple rounds, but I just think that Usman will win the majority of the rounds. I just think Usman will win the second in the rematch. I just really believe, because what Jorge Masvidal has to look forward to is he has to work more on his. Can he work more on his takedowns? Can he prevent Usman from taking them down, controlling the fight? I know Usman can stand up, to a certain degree with Jorge Masvidal and survive, You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if Jorge Masvidal can survive getting takedown at the takedown at the takedown. That's one thing. When a guy taking you down, like I said about wrestling, is draining. Is he can drain Jorge Masvidal's explosiveness, take away his explosiveness by keep taking him down and making Jorge Masvidal carry his weight by trying to defend the takedowns and stuff and things of that nature. So I got Usman winning the second fight, even though I think it'll be a little bit closer this time because Jorge Masvidal they'll be training specifically for each other. But like I said, man, let me know what y'all think, man. But I probably like to see Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. I think that'll be a really good fight. But let me know what y'all think, man. I'm out.